And we are live with Small Business Solutions Mondays with Debora R. Nelson, and we're here with a amazing guest all the way from Rochester, New York today. So
Yay.
I am excited. I just made this video live or public so that this can be shared. So I'm going to get into the introduction. I'm going to talk about Miss Ebony Nicole Smith. She is here with us from New York. It's cold outside, so
It is.
it's only right to bring the Northeast into the building. But she's going to share with us her experiences with business. She's going to talk about her publishing business. She has actually been writing since 2010
Mhm.
and started her business in 2015. So she's going to share with us some knowledge and kind of tell you all what she's been up to. So without further ado, Miss Ebony.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Happy, what is this, Monday?
Yes, yes. Happy
I
Monday.
am Ebony Nicole Smith, the writing coach and publishing engineer. I help faith based individuals, men and women, to write their books, start, finish, all the way through to the end where they can finally get it published.
That's awesome. So what kind of what motivated you to start this business in particular?
Oh, it was just seriously, it was me learning how to do it and then deciding, you know what, if I can do it for myself, I can certainly do it for others. And people will always come up to me and say, "Oh my goodness, I want to write a book, but I don't know how. I want to do it, but I don't know where to start." And I'm like, "Well, I do. I know how to start. I know what to do in the middle, and I know what to do at the end. So
Yes.
let me help you on this journey." And that's how it started. Just me wanting to help people do what was in them already, just helping them get it out.
Nice, nice. And I know with aspiring authors, most people, it's just getting started. That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. So what do you do with once they come to you and they express that they want to write a book? How do you kind of warm them up to the idea, actually pushing past the thoughts?
Past the thoughts is simply for me when I take my client, what I do for myself as for my clients is I write everything out. What is it that I want to share? And then from there, I'll make sure to structure it. And to structure it is to know exactly what the theme of my book is. What's the purpose of my book? And so as I'm writing things out, as I'm getting it all down on paper or typing it on my laptop, I am more focused on those important aspects. What needs to go into my book, what doesn't. And for my clients, when we sit down and we talk about what the theme is of their book, what their ideal is behind it, then we can decide what needs to go in there. For them, I say just write it all out and then we will hash it out. We'll take out what doesn't need to be and we will elevate what does. And so it's just seriously sit down, know what it is you want to talk about, and then just start writing points that you want to make in your book.
Nice. And we were just having a conversation. So, me and Ebony connect because we both have a full time career and then we're also doing businesses on the side. So,
Mhm.
can you kind of explain what your day looks like as an entrepreneur, full time entrepreneur and full time businesswoman or, corporate woman?
Yes. So 4:01, I am out the door and I hit the ground running.
Ooh,
It's
401.
4:01. That's when the writing coach and publishing engineer hat comes on. And it's
Nice.
checking emails, following up with my administrative assistant on things that she may need. And I'm checking with her, hey, do I have anything this evening? Or what do I need to reply to that she may not be able to? I'm following up with clients as well, checking in on them. I text them, hey, I haven't heard from you in the last couple of days. Are you okay? What's going on? Um, doing a few things on social media, but as soon as I'm off the clock, it's right back to business hat. And it's, yeah, I keep going till maybe probably I'm trying to stop about 10 o'clock, but sometimes it can go until 12. But I'm like, I need to go to sleep, get some rest for tomorrow. But yeah, it's all about I making sure on Sundays, my ritual is to write down my task for the week. And then that way I
Nice.
know what I need to do. So I'm not, running around, okay, what do I have to do today? What needs to be done? Who do I have to email? Who do I have to reply to? No, all these things are already planned out, and it makes the evening go by fast and
Right.
without any frustration. Because now I'm not, then tomorrow I don't have anything that went undone from today because I already know what needed to what I needed to accomplish.
Right. So you start your morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you start with your
Oh no, not
entrepreneur.
four.
Four.
Where,
Okay. What
where'd you get
time?
four from?
I thought you said
No, I don't
4:01.
know. Oh, 4:01 p.m. Like okay, so I after work.
Okay.
That's when my
Okay.
entrepreneur hat comes on. I
Got
get up
it.
at 6.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 4, I'm still asleep.
All right. All right. Cool. But still, that's a full day, guys. So
It is, absolutely.
Ebony gets up and she goes to work. She goes to her corporate job
Yep.
first. And then as soon as she gets off, she said 4 o'clock, she's off, right?
Yep.
And 4:01, she is right into her entrepreneurship hat and
Absolutely.
she's checking emails and she's running hard to
Yeah.
about 10 o'clock ish. Sometimes she's up till about 12
Sometimes.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just like the entrepreneur spirit. Like we're just
Yeah.
night owls. It doesn't matter how long you try to go to sleep. For some reason, 12 o'clock is when that light bulb goes off.
Yes, everything wants to everything all of a sudden I love to create in Canva. Canva has been one of the best things, creating graphics and things like that. So I can be ready to go to bed and then all of a sudden, ding, I'm like, oh, I
I
should
have
do
this
that.
idea
I should
right
do this.
now. Not later, but right now.
Yeah, yeah. Right at this moment, I'm like, okay, let me just do like a quick draft of it, and then I'll, do it tomorrow. Or even so, as an author, I can, be ready to go to bed, and then all of a sudden, an idea for a book pops up,
Exactly.
and I'm like, okay, let me write this down really quickly, and then I'll write it now for a later date. But that's when I'm ready to lay down, when everything is calm. I've prayed. I'm like, okay, let me get comfortable on these pillows. I love pillows, so let me get comfortable on
Yes.
these pillows and just go to sleep. And then all of a sudden, that creative spark. Hey, you should do this, and you should write a book about this, or you should write an ebook about that, or you should create this. I'm like, okay, creative spark, let's go.
Yes. Just roll with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So would you say that's a good practice for people who like randomly, get thoughts, especially for people who already have a career and is trying to pursue entrepreneurship on the side? When they get those sparks of, those ideas or that
Mhm.
spark of energy, is it a good practice to just like act on it? Do you keep a notebook on you? What's like your practices for keeping all these ideas together?
A notebook is the best thing. Let me see if I have one. I'm in my office, and I did move some stuff around. I don't think I have one on my desk, but notebooks, I have two on the side of my bed. Okay.
Okay.
And one I use whenever I get a creative spark to write a book. And then another
Ooh.
is for anything else that may come to mind. And so for me, it is very, very important that I have a notebook next to me because I can wake up sometimes with an idea and I'll just write it down. What I learned is sometimes when God gives us an idea, it's not for us to work on at that moment or
That's
even
true.
that year. It can be, hey, this is an idea for you, and I'll give you more details at a later date. But just for now,
Exactly.
write it down. And so I encourage any entrepreneur, if you get an idea, immediately write it down. Do not, if even I have my cell phone, you have notes in your cell phone. Even if you're driving, being careful, of course, record it. Like, this is an idea I have. I want to write a book about XYZ. I want to scale my business with this thing. Here's an idea that I can do for my clients. And then you'll have it saved. But I would say, yeah, don't go to sleep. Don't do anything else. Just get this information out that has just been downloaded to you
Yes.
and save it for later.
I love the
10 foot.
tape recording idea. I think that's great for
Hmm.
people who are constantly in a move, even if like for some reason you're in a grocery store and you don't
Yep.
have much time to sit down and write. Pulling that tape recorder out, you can download it on your cell phone and
Yep.
just recording what you have to say. Like you said, I think something that you touched on is super important to know. You might get ideas, but you don't have to act on them
Yeah.
immediately. It might
Hmm.
not be for this
Hmm.
current time. Add that to your long-term plan
Yep.
and,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
and call it a day. So those are some great tips, definitely. I am intrigued by the sign behind you, a praying wife. Is that in
Yes.
waiting? Is that what
Yes,
that
a
says?
praying wife in waiting.
Is this like
Yes.
one of your books, your projects? What's
Yes.
can you tell us more?
Absolutely. A Praying Wife in Waiting was a long awaited book. It started
Nice.
out, it's an anthology. It's a
Okay.
collection of stories between with myself and 17 other women. It originally started out as a 90-day devotional for women who are single and are praying wives. They're praying, but they're not praying
Nice.
for the arrival of their husbands, but praying for God to do a good work in them. The Bible says,
Wow.
he who finds a wife finds a good thing and
Right.
obtains favor from the Lord. So I believe, and I'm still going through this process. I'm doing the devotional myself. So eventually I want to release it. But it's praying for God to work on you. I'll be honest, I had bad communication skills. I was very passive aggressive. If I was angry about something, you know what, I'm not going to deal with it. And then later it would come out, boom, like a big old bomb. Right. So I had to learn, I had to go through the process of gaining my voice, being okay with sharing it, and just being confident all around. And so the Praying Wife in Waiting came about when a friend of mine said or suggested that I gather women and have them write their own individual
I
stories. And I
love
was like,
that.
oh my goodness, that's brilliant.
That's
Let's
brilliant. Right, right,
go.
right, right.
So it was an idea. And I told a few friends, and they were like, Ebony, I need to be in that book. Well, let's go. And so it's broken up into 3 different sections. The first section
Love
is
it.
written by single women like myself who are successfully single. Successfully single means you have a healthy view of marriage, a healthy view of relationships, and a healthy view of yourself. I know that
Love
seems
that.
like it's a lot, but I can say for a fact I didn't have a healthy view of relationships, marriage, nor myself. That's where, you know, it came time for God to do work in me. I'm like, well, do your thing, Lord. Do a good
That's
thing in
powerful.
me. Do a good thing in me. And so I have the first section written by single women. The second section is written by women who are wives and have been married for less than 10 years. In those stories, because sometimes you think as soon as you get married,
Man,
everything is just, I do, and then
peachy clean,
sunshine.
and
Yeah,
it's just a
no.
great fairy tale. No issues because you worked it out
None.
before.
Oh, no. Everything will be great. No issues. The issues don't start till you're 11. Oh, a total lie. Like, it was reading these women's stories, like, opened my eyes. Like, oh, we can have problems the first year. Wait a minute. So it was an eye opener. And then the third section, which truly is my favorite, I must admit, were written by women who are married, who have been married for 11 or more years.
Oh, I love that. Love it.
It's,
All in one
oh,
book.
all in one book. So you are going from single season all the way to a seasoned
Ooh,
wife.
that's
The
powerful.
wisdom. It's over 100 years worth of wife wisdom in one book. One of the wives, she's been married for 33 years. 33. And she said she's got married when she was 17. And she said she's been married more than, half her life. And the wisdom that she poured, I'm like, I am full. And even now, the book just released in September. Even now, I'll go back and I'll read some of the chapters just to
Wow.
help me remember. Look, when you become a wife, you'll go through these things. There are some things that God may not deal with you in your single season, but will deal with you in your marriage season. So,
That's deep.
yeah, yeah, it's
Wow.
absolutely
I
beautiful.
I don't know who's tuned in right now, but If you feel like this is a book that you will be interested in, just please send Ebony a note so she can keep you on her release
Absolutely.
notification.
Oh, it's
That's
already out.
oh, it's
It's already
already
out.
out.
Yes,
Okay,
it was
so
released last
contact her.
September.
Okay, awesome. So contact her for a book. I'm going to check that out because I just think that's amazing. Because that is, in addition to business, right? Foundation of anything in a household is family, and it
Absolutely.
starts with marriage. So I think that
Absolutely.
is outstanding. But Ebony is just like, this is another way that you can collaborate and network with other individuals, right? So
Hmm.
you set up this book, and you started piecemealing all these different women from around the world, different levels of experience, ages, and put them into one book. Your
Hmm.
network, right? At that point, you've probably built sisterhoods, you probably built
Yes.
business partners, you probably
Yes.
built like a team maybe out of these
All of it.
ladies.
It's been
Um
amazing.
yeah, so it's more than a book. You've created
Yes.
a community around this piece of work.
Absolutely. And what I love about it is that they had the opportunity to be vulnerable.
I
Because
love that.
once you write something, it's out there.
Yeah,
And
for
it's
sure.
permanently out there. Once
Yes.
you publish it, it's permanently out there. And a lot of them had to really dig deep and move past some emotional scars to share
Man.
their stories. And it was one of the ladies, MD Simmons, when her opening chapter, her opening statement was, "I'm a slut." And I was like, wait a minute.
Wow.
Okay, well, let me continue. Because I was like, well, let me finish reading. And it was like, oh my God, who sat you down and told you my story? And that's what it was like. It was truly reading some of my life within the book, and then learning other parts of people's life that women I've known, and then women that I did not know on a personal level, but these stories like really, really brought us together, because it was just like, here I am, I'm being vulnerable, I'm opening up my heart,
Right.
be easy.
Yeah.
Take me through this. So that's what it was. It was an amazing opportunity. I think it was about 7 of them became first time published authors. So that
Nice.
was also an experience for them. And I said, update your resume, your business resume, put on there, you're an author, you're a published author. So that is one thing as well. I would recommend to anyone who wants to write a book, but they're not quite ready to do it on their own, try an anthology.
Yeah,
An
I
anthology.
definitely agree. So, for anyone that's listening that doesn't know what an anthology is, Jesus Christ, it's basically when a group of writers come together and they put in bits and pieces of the book. They might have a chapter, they might have a passage,
Mhm.
or multiple chapters, and it's combined into one book, and then you guys publish together. So,
Mhm.
again, I think that's a great example of the power of collaboration and networking.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
now you're a first time author and you didn't have to do it all yourself. So that's
Yeah,
always an option with publishing.
absolutely.
So with your business, right? How did you use your book to scale your business?
Oh, just when I published my book, everything was out. So I had to find other avenues within it on teaching. So I have
Okay.
programs, writing courses that I have to teach people how to write. I also, right now, putting together uh, it's going to be 9 8 weeks, sorry, I put together an 8 week writing course intensive. And that's one way that I've scaled my business. And also creating simple ways for people to actually get their book done by breaking up the process for them, so they don't have to do it all at one time. Here's the first part, here's the second, here's the third, and you can take what pieces work for you for where you are.
Awesome. I think that was a brilliant idea. So you went from the doer to the teacher,
Yes.
and pouring
Yes.
into other people's lives and businesses, because most
Mhm.
people, they use their books as a platform
Yes.
or as the foundation of the. Actually, some people write books and don't realize that they're creating their business from the book.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you're not just helping people, publish with purpose. You're actually maybe helping them start their business as well. So that's
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And I have two clients actually use their books to start programs within their business. I have one, Sierra Miller. She used her book called Don't Muzzle Your Message. It's for speakers. And she
Mm,
created an intensive, 5 week intensive for speakers based off of her book. Absolutely brilliant. She already had the
absolutely.
content. She just needed to give it to them a different way. And then
Exactly.
another client, Gerarda Larkins, her book is Train, Transform, Transition. She used her book to create a 14-week course. This is the book. Break it down in parts, create some content, some action items that people can do in each chapter, and
Yes.
there's your program.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
Absolutely. You turn that into courses, you can turn that
Oh,
into a mastermind, you
everything.
can turn
Everything.
into virtual conference, many
Yep,
things you can do with the foundation of a book. So if you guys
absolutely.
have an idea and you just need someone to help you piecemeal it together, please reach out
Mhm.
to Coach Ebony Nicole on that.
Yes, absolutely.
So as a business owner, what would you say was one of the biggest challenges you've had but have overcome? And you think it's important for other aspiring entrepreneurs to know?
One of the biggest challenges, that's a great question because there are many, but I would say one that I am walking in clear and just going for it, visibility. We chatted about this earlier. How
Yes,
to get in front of your ideal client, how to get in front of people who would want to bring you onto their platforms, who would want to collaborate with you. That was a struggle for me because I didn't know who my ideal client was. I thought I could just help everybody because that's
exactly.
what I wanted to do. I wanted to help anybody who wanted to write a book. But no, I had to hone in, focus my niche and cater to just them. And as I did that, as I got the idea of who my ideal client was, that allowed me to be more vocal, to speak their language, to be where they are. It also allows me to cater content to them. And when I put out products and services, I have them in mind. So that also
Woo!
allows me to get out there. I told you this earlier, and I'll say it, but I went on social media in one of these writer groups, and I just put up a post. Hey, I need everyone who interviews authors to line up here, put down your information, give me all your contact information. And then once I gathered it, I'll be honest, I was like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna send these emails, I'm gonna, do all this. I never got around to it until I got my administrative assistant, and I said, hey, here's a list of 50 plus people. Can you reach out to them and tell them, I'm ready, I want to be on their show. She did, and here we go. And it's all about knowing who you are and who you're going after.
Yes.
So when you know who they are, you know where they be. Like my ideal clients are clergy people, and so they aren't on Instagram as much. Facebook
You
is
have to
where
know
they are.
that. You have to know
Facebook.
where they're hanging
Yep.
out because if you don't know where your folks are hanging out, you'll be
You'll miss them.
speaking and you will never communicate with the right person. People will
Yep.
hear you, but you will not connect.
Yeah.
So what Ebony Nicole is saying is visibility is key. Getting in front of the camera, getting on that podcast, and giving your target audience a taste of what you have to offer, so that
Absolutely.
they don't have to go looking for you. You kind of go to them. And I
Mm-hmm.
love the way you said my people. I know my people are not on Instagram as much. They're
Yeah.
on Facebook, or I know my people. That means you've done research. You really tapped into the mindset. And
Yes.
honestly, it has to be to that level of
Mm-hmm.
this is how they think. This is where
Yeah.
they hang out the most. And that will help you to be able to create that language, like you said. So I
Yes.
always like to use this as an example. So Beyonce, right? She has this whole like beehive, and they use certain terms. And before I really tapped into business, I didn't I was like, oh my gosh, even in her post, she'll refer to this group of people as the beehive.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I wasn't a part of the beehive. That's why I didn't know, and that's why I didn't care. However, whoever was in that beehive crew,
Got it.
anytime she spoke to them, flooded with responses.
Yep.
They were reaching out to her. They were purchasing. She knew that this is what they wanted and all that good stuff. So that's how you bring value to your niche. So
Yeah.
amazing. So what would you say was one of your success? There's many challenges in business.
Mhm.
Being a publisher, helping people birth their books. What has been considered a success to you? Because everyone measures success on different scales. What keeps you going every day?
Oh, goodness. That's a great question. I would say what success means for me is truly seeing the smiles and hearing the excitement of my client once that book is done.
Awesome.
I got my book, coach. I got it. I'm going to open it. And I'm like, okay, do a live. Go live and open your book. Get
Do your
everybody excited all day. Yeah, we
yes,
build up the excitement about it. Like tell
yes,
people you just ordered a copy of your book. Tell them it should be here due to COVID. It's a little slower now, but let them know, hey, I just ordered my proof. It's coming on this day. I'm going to go live so you all can have a first look. And watching those videos, I just like,
yes.
oh,
You're a
just
part of that.
yes. So that for me is success. To see, to be with them from this part, from just up here, just a
The
thought,
thought to
to
a
now a
actual tangible.
physical book. Yeah.
Right. That is powerful.
Yeah.
And I you know what I think is amazing? I kind of always go back to previous guests and try to find trends. So another common thing between you and other business owners that have been on here is when I ask them this question, it's never about them. It's never about
Mm-mm.
because I love doing this or because X, Y, and Z. It's usually because of their clients and
Yeah.
impacting someone else's lives. So um, I can't even explain how important it is to be a publisher. My publisher,
Yes.
she helped me publish my book. And that is a moment in my life that I
Yep.
will remember forever. My first
Forever.
book. So,
Hmm. I still remember mine. I
it's,
still remember my first book. Every time I order copies of my book, I'm excited to open it. When I see Amazon will send me or Barnes and Noble will send me, or Lulu will send me an email. Hey, we shipped your books. Okay, what date? Oh, I can't wait for that day
yes,
to
yes.
come. And
Open
I'm
fresh
like,
box
yes,
and
it's always like it never be 10 years later. It's never old. It's
exactly.
never old. I love it. And I love it when I see my clients do it because I know behind the scenes what we went through to get them here. So to see
Exactly.
them
The process.
at that process, go through that process, and now we're finally here, it's been great. And then when they send me like messages, Coach, I sold this many books, I sold that many books. Like, you go ahead, you better work. You're
Yes.
working, yes. I love it. I absolutely love
Yes.
it. Does my
And
heart well.
exactly. That's awesome. We have Norma in the comments. She said, so impressed with Nicole's knowledge. So
Oh, thank you, Norma.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Norma is a great woman as well. She's awesome. So is there any advice that you have for anyone who's thinking about writing a book that may be afraid to step out and take that next step? Do you have any advice to give them?
Oh my goodness, I can give you a lot, but the first, but the one thing I would say is to get out of your head. Don't think
Ooh,
about who's going to support you. You don't have a book for them to support. Don't think about who's going to price it for? How do I release it? Why? You have nothing to give the people. So why are you worried? What are people going to say? If I, especially for those who write books based on their lives. The majority of
exactly.
my clients do that. They write their memoirs or their biographies, autobiographies. And so, I'll get I'm going to write about this thing that happened and what are people going to say about it? You don't even have a book for them to even comment on. So it doesn't even matter. Get out of your head and just do it.
Just do it.
The starting point, I would say, is to create an outline. That's what I was saying earlier. Create an outline. Know what it is you want to talk about and make bullet points that only support what it is you want to discuss.
Awesome.
Everything else, don't even worry about it. Just write those bullet points that you want to discuss in your book. Once that's out, you now have the outline of your book. So now you can go in and create as many chapters as you need to get your story out. One thing I tell people all the time, and because I get this a lot, don't worry about how big your book is.
Another one.
Don't do it. Because if you were, I don't want it to be a small book. Well, let me tell you something. There was this there is rather this well-known pastor whose book I read. I didn't read the whole thing. I think I got to maybe chapter 6 and I was done. It was very repetitive. It was just like you're talking to the clients or to your readers as if they don't understand you. You already explained this in the last chapter. Why are we going over this again? I'm like, I should be his writing coach. But
who's your writing coach, sir?
Exactly. I just want to know because we need to talk.
We need to talk.
It's don't worry about how big it is, because there's this book by Cindy Trim. It's so thin. I mean, it's all of maybe 10 to 15 pages, but it's powerful.
Power.
I tell people all the time, don't worry about how big it's going to be. I want you to give people meat. Give them something they can be filled on. And as a writing coach, if you bring to me fillers because you don't want a small book, I see it and I'm, nope, cross out. Nope, take this out. Nope, take this out. I have not yet taken out an entire chapter from a client's book, but I will take out paragraphs and like, no. You just added this just to make the chapter longer. No, we're not doing that.
Good. That's good, because that means that you are only crafting quality and stuff that you know for sure that people are going to be full of, which then in turn means that people are going to continue to come back, or they're going to provide you the reviews and the responses, and
absolutely
you will have impact. Because if you have all these like cloudy words around it, it doesn't get the point across, and people are like, no,
it doesn't. And it just,
I love that.
Because when I read this author's book, I said, sir, why is this in here? it angered me. I'll be honest. I was very upset because I wanted to read it, but I'm like, I can't read it. I don't want my money back, but I'll keep it. So and it's been like 4 years now, and there's still I just can't. So I'm mindful of that when I get my clients' books. Don't give fillers. We're not filling people with junk. We're giving them quality content and material. If you want to just put anything out there, I'm not your coach, because I'm not allowing you to put anything out there. It's not an option.
Absolutely love that you're doing that. And that tells me that you are taking time to read through what you're receiving, and you're actually providing that care with this for this final product. Because one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you haven't published a book yet, right? You don't want to get stuck with a publisher that's just like piecemeal, that's producing exactly what you're giving them. You don't want that. You hire a publisher and a coach so that they can create the best product and the best quality that you have to offer before they send you out, with this final product that's going to be in the shelves on Amazon, on Google forever.
Forever.
So, I so support what you're doing. I think that's amazing. And I just love hearing when business owners are taking that extra step to make sure their clients are nothing but the best. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Now, we can't leave without the advice for the aspiring entrepreneurs or current business owners who need to figure out a way to scale or just want more knowledge for their business. What advice do you have for your fellow business owners who are currently or aspiring business owners, whichever you feel is more important to share at this time, I guess?
I would say I'll touch on both. For aspiring business owners, I would say to write the vision, make it plain. What you see for your business, write it down. Where are you now, and where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now? That's your business plan. A lot of businesses, and I'll say a lot because I was one of them. I didn't know I needed a business plan until I had taken a course about 2 years ago. And it was like, hey, you need a business plan. Put it together. And they showed me, and here I go. But here I am, rather. I would say put together a business plan. If you don't know how to, Google is your friend.
Yes.
Google how to do it, and you will
Absolutely.
get the answers that you need. Or talk to, someone else that is well versed in it. They know how to create those. I had to hire someone, so don't. Hey, coach, you're not doing. No, that's not my arena. That's not my arena. However, you can do it. Start with your business plan, because it'll show you, it'll keep you going, and it'll allow you to alter your plan as you go along, but you're still going that route. It's like it's like having a GPS. If we are going, you're in New Jersey, right?
Yes.
So if
Well,
I'm going
Baltimore now. I'm from New
Baltimore,
Jersey.
yeah, okay, that's right, that's right. So if I'm driving to Baltimore and I'm going through Pennsylvania, and there's like this big old construction snare, well, my GPS still is going to get me to Baltimore, but taking a different route.
Right.
Your
Which is
business
fine.
plan is the same. That's completely fine. It might add on an extra hour or whatnot, but I'm still going to Baltimore.
Exactly.
And that's what your business plan is like. You are starting here and you want to get there. Along the way, you're going to have some hiccups. It's okay. Keep going. Just as long as you have that business plan, that is your vision. That's your mission. That's what keep you going. That's what's going to keep you up at night to 12 o'clock when you want to go to sleep.
That's where you throw those extra ideas.
Yes, exactly. So that's where your business plan is going to come in at. For existing entrepreneurs, I would say to ask your existing clients, what do you want? What is it that you want to learn? What is it that you want to see? What type of product can you use right now? And they will tell you what it is that they want. And whatever they want, if you have the ability, the capacity to give it to them, give it to them. Just, it's what they want. So just ask them, just, hey, what do you want to see next? Like with my Canva class, hey, what do you guys want to learn next? We want to learn this. Great. I know how to do that. Let's rock and roll. My clients, I ask them, what is it that you wish I offered? One of my clients says she wished I offered the information on how to get her book into Barnes and Nobles. Oh, well, that's great. Let me figure out how to do that. And so that's now something that I'm offering as soon as I get a handle on it. And that's what I'm going to offer my clients, because now it's what they want. So as a publisher and writing coach and publishing engineer, let me give them what they want. It doesn't, I know what I want to give them, but it's not about me.
Exactly.
It's never about, my business is not about, I'm,
Oh my
the
goodness.
face of the business, but it's, for real, it's not about me. It's about them. It's about what they want. And so whatever they want, hey, let me figure it out, and I'll go get it. I'll go do it. I'll learn it just for you, because that's what you want.
That's what you're there for. You're basically the bridge that fills that gap. You
Absolutely.
You see
Absolutely.
your clients have a challenge or an issue, you go solve the problem. That's why you're there.
I love that. Yes. Yes.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and when you said that, it was like, oh, I say it all the time. Like, and when I'm sitting in a meeting and we're discussing the problem, okay, we could discuss the problem 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops. We know what the problem is. Now, what are the solutions? Because what we're not going to do is spend 2 hours talking about a problem, and then we have to now come back to another meeting to discuss the solution. No. And as an entrepreneur, if you see a problem, be the solution.
Yes.
Like, you are literally the solution. Like, I'm gonna tell you this now. Somebody might want to take this idea and run with it, and I'm okay with that, because that's not my lane. I had on Saturday, I just taken out my braids, and because I have, my hair is natural, and I had braids, just for a little while. I'm gonna get them back in. I was thinking, my niece was helping me, and I was thinking about a business called The Takedown, where you people pay you to take their braids out. And I was just sitting there. I had my hair, my rat tail comb, and I'm like, the takedown.
That sounds really intense.
I was like, oh my God.
That sounds intense, quick, and efficient. I just want to show up, take it down, and send me out of the way.
It had taken my niece and I, because she helped me do it. So it all depends on if you want a one-on-one, like just me and you taking down your hair, or if I need to bring a cousin or a
A
homegirl
team.
or two, a team, yes, a team, and we take it down for you. You just sit there and do whatever you want. We can knock this out in no time.
Depending on your time that you have, because you might
Yep,
need to be done within 30 minutes. So that means I have to bring 3 people with me or 2.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
business.
pretty
It's
cool.
the takedown.
You see how business ideas come up, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Think about, so this is for people aspiring, like, hey, I want to be a business owner. Think about problems
Yep.
or challenges that people have on a day-to-day basis that you can solve.
Yep.
That's where you start.
That's
If you
it.
need to figure out a business idea, you think about where the challenge is, where the problem is, and how you can fix it.
Yep.
I was actually in the process of posting something earlier and I got caught up during lunch. And I was going to say, in business, it's never about the business owner, it's always about the clients.
That's it.
And the fact that you said, ask your clients what they want. I think sometimes business owners, I'll speak for one, because at one point it was all about my vision, how I was going to support my clients and what I thought they needed, until you find out that's not what they need.
That's not what I want.
They need something like that. But what they actually need is what they actually told you when you ask. So feedback from your clients is so important, and it will definitely keep you connected, because even though you're running a business, you want to have that personable touch. You want that that one-on-one, like, I'm still human behind this business, and you're listening to your clients and you're forming that relationship. So I definitely feel those vibes from you, Ebony. I can see that you probably connect so well with your clients and you build relationships. Yes. So we're going to get ready to wrap this up. This is another week of Small Business Solutions Mondays. I'm so excited that Ebony was a guest on the show tonight. Thank you for your time. I know the weather is probably out of control in New York right now.
Let's not, because we supposed to be getting, like, I think they said about 2 to 4 feet.
That's okay. That gives you more time to work on your entrepreneurship. Maybe.
Oh goodness, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I don't think any of us are. We just want summer to come. Just bring the summer, please.
Yes. Spring is my favorite season. April, come on, April.
Yes, April. But thank you so much for being a guest on the show, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to reach out to Miss Ebony Nicole, please look her up on @thecoach Ebony Nicole, and also your website again, please.
Yep, my website is www.ebonynicolesmith.com.
Love that. Such a nice name, Ebony Nicole Smith. Awesome. So you guys have a great week. It's only Monday. You got more information to go either start your business, scale your business, or get your book published. So, I mean, hey, what better way to start your week? So do not hesitate to reach out, guys. You are not alone.
You're not alone.